Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about collision, rigid body, script as behavior components. Okay, let's start. What's rigid body? Rigid body enables your game object to act under the control of physics. What does it mean? For example, if I add a rigid body on the sphere and the sphere will go down because of the gravity. If I check the gravity box, and if you apply to rigid body, for example, like if this is on the air, this can be influenced by the wind. For example, if the wind is like going another way, like this way, then this if this is a balloon, this can kind of like floated on the air. So rigid body basically is kind of like a apply just like a make it just like a real world object. Okay, so rigid bodies probably there are mass. For example, the mass of the object, 1 unit equals 1 kilograms, and drag, angular drag, those are the air resistance. Use gravity means that if I put a sphere on the air and kind of it will drop due to the gravity, and it's kinematic. It means like allows you to control the movement of your object 100%. For example, if I apply kinematics on this kind of like a sphere, then this will stay at the air if because you couldn't apply to the gravity. But if I press like a right key, left key, going down, going up, according to my script, this can kind of freely and go to whatever it likes and not really apply to the real world of physics. So if you kind of click the is kinematic, you can have 100% fully control your object and interpolate. It means like, oh, I need it to be super smooth. It's like a glide on the ice. It's like it will make the motion too very, very smooth or like fast. Or yeah, so it depends on your needs. In collision detection, it means like determine how collision is calculated. And constraint sometimes um, for our game we don't really have it, but in some games, for example, it's like it's some 2D games you don't need like something that only on the ground. You don't need a Y like a jump up and down, and some games require freeze some certain of access just in case your stuff will rolling into somewhere. So constraint is a really helpful option, or the selection. Okay, let's talk about collider. What's collider? A collider is a parameter that is project around an object that can detect when other objects enter it. For example, like this is the cube that I create. Yeah, just think this is a 3D cube. And I apply a collider. Yeah, you can apply, you don't need to really apply like the same as this cube, but I want to have some like a maybe some space for him. So for example, if this is a bug, flying and touch, and I can kind of write a script or have the interaction with this bug. For example, if this is a bug and this is a human, and this is a collider that I wanna detect like the to detect like other object entering. So for example, like this one just fly. Okay, so inside this zone, this is like a warning zone, and then maybe I can script this human droid just destroy this bug because this bug is inside my personal space and I don't feel comfortable about this flight uh, just like too close to me. Yeah, so this is collider. Okay, so collider properties. What's collider properties? You can edit collider, and its trigger determines whether the collider is a physical collider or a trigger collider. Material allows you to apply physics materials. Later on, we will talk about like a physics materials to objects to change the way in which they behave. What's physics collider? Collider that reacts in a position and rotation in Unity building physics engine. Okay, so and then as for trigger collider, trigger can call three specific methods. One is on trigger enter, on trigger stay, and on trigger is exit. For example, this is on trigger enter because this object is on trigger enter. Yeah, so you can program this robot kill this fly on trigger enter. If this is entering and stay, you can also program this robot when this one is staying inside the zone. You can program maybe the robot destroy the fly. Or on trigger exit, for example, I just go in and go out. Maybe just when I go out this moment, and this robot will destroy the fly. So it all depends on how your game is. Okay, so let's see today's little small demo. Okay, basically it's a cube dropping to the floor, and I use the left right key to move horizontally, and use up and down key to move vertically. And if I press R, it changes to red. If I press G, it changes to green. If I press B on the keyboard, it changes to blue. Okay, let's see how I made it. First, okay, so let's made another scene. Okay, create another new scene. Okay, this is a brand new scene. So let's Control and S, save, and make it Unity Test V1. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so how can I do it? I'm going to show you like in a really like a short demo. So whatever code I can kind of like show you in a little bit, so you can kind of like see what's the code that I wrote. Okay, so basically I create two prefabs. One is plain. Okay, let's drag it to the scene. Okay, so let's reset. Make sure it's 0, 0, 0. Okay, so this is a prefab. I basically made a plane and 4 cubes and stretch it out, make it like a wall, and then I apply to I grab some light texture, and then I apply to the materials here, and then I made a model and put the material in my scene and make a plane, and I put all the cubes under it, make it children, and then I drag this plane to my prefabs folders. So I make the prefabs. If you don't really know how to make prefabs, you can go back to my previous tutorial, and I introduce how to make prefab before. Okay, so player, this is our main player. Okay, so player, we put player here. Okay, so player, okay, player is here. Let's go, let's make it reset first. Okay, so yeah, okay, so let's see what's inside. Okay, so if like at the beginning, you will not have rigid body and you will not have player control script. So rigid body, how can I get a rigid body? Rigid body is here. You just type you just add component and you click RI rigid body and you edit. I've already have one, so I don't need it. But let's go inside like a scene, play around with the parameters. Okay, mass. It's 1, right? Let's make it 10 and see how it goes. Okay, so, and then we start. You see, 10 and 1, it feels different. Okay, sorry. I need to make my camera first. Okay, let's go up. Yeah. Okay, make sure the camera is good. Okay, let's make it rotate a little bit so we can see everything. Okay, let's rotate it. Okay, cool. Okay, and then we change the color of our background by going to the camera and then change the clear flex into solid color and background change to black. Yeah, that looks dope. Okay, go here. Okay, jump. You see, mass, I increase 10. You can feel it feels much heavier. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's the mass. Okay. And then let's go back to 1 and drag is like the air force. So if we make it 10, let's see how it goes. You will feel like, yeah, it's so slow because there's like an air force. So it drops down and then on the floor everything looks good, but let's go back and see. If I make it the drag 10, like the air resistance, it takes a long time to go down. Okay, so that's the result of you make a drag to 10. Okay, so let's see. Let's use gravity. Okay, if I don't want gravity, I wanna kind of have the feeling of like a walk in the space. Okay, let's see. Okay, so because there's no gravity, yeah, you can kind of like play around here. There's no gravity. Okay, there's no gravity. Yeah, so your cube will not fall down. Yeah, there's no gravity. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, and what's kinematic? Okay, if you click kinematics, then there's no force will be applied to your scene. Let's see. Okay, no force. Yeah, it's similar to this, like no gravity, and but there are more. Yeah, so it's kinematics. It's like I'm not applied to the gravity. For example, if I put it here, let's see what will it happen. Like it's kinematic. It's like you are free. You are free from the law of the universe. Yeah, you are totally free. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, you see, like there is no gravity, and you can go through the wall. You are like a superhero. Yeah, so no laws of the universe will apply to you. Okay, which sounds pretty cool. Okay, so and the freeze rotation, because we don't want it to rotate, we want to it before I kind of freeze Y because we don't really need Y. If you are in the XZ, this this flat place, yeah, this face, yeah, but if you are dropping from above and start playing it, you need Y. For example, if we freeze Y, let's see how it goes. It will just stay there, honestly. Yeah, it couldn't drop it, so we couldn't really play it. So yeah, it's like it's really convenient to kind of like make sure the game doing what you want, but if you kind of like mess it up, it won't even start. So you couldn't freeze Y, right? So we unclick it. Okay, so let's go to our me today. which is our script. Yeah, I kind of combine some cool codes from online, and I made like a little bit customized of this game. Yeah, so let's see how this do. Okay, so those three are kind of default. Yeah, so you don't need to worry about this. This will be written it once you create a new one. Okay, so our script's name is called player control. So we can use our keyboard to freely control our player. Okay, so first we need to create a variable called speed. Speed is our name of the variable. And then we create a public. What's public? Public means that if you put it public, you can change the parameters here. For example, speed, we can have 10, we can have 20. 20 will be faster. If you put it public, it means like you can, yeah, so you see, it's much faster, right? So you can totally change it. Okay, so let's go back to our script. Okay, yeah. And the float is the type of this variable. Yeah. Okay. So we made another rigid body called RB. Yeah, you need to call rigid body in order to have the kind of physics. For example, like gravity, we need, and yeah, in the future probably someone need like air resistance and some other stuff. So we need to call like have a variable called rigid body. Rigid body is here. If we call this, it's here. Okay. And then, okay. So, what's this mean? Void start is like when you turn on the game, when you just start a game, this will run first. So we need to awake any component, any stuff initiate. We need to do that before, even before the first frame run. So this is awaken. So we need to call the rigid body first. So we put RB here, and RB is the variable or of our name, and then we put get component rigid body. This is kind of like, oh, please get the component of rigid body for RB. Yeah. Okay, so as for our RBG, basically I grabbed the code from Unity's tutorial website, and I found this is so cool. So okay, so if input dot get key down key code dot r get component renderer the material dot color equals color dot red. What does it mean? If I press R on my keyboard, like the whole color of this object will turn red. Yeah. Okay. So how do I know like this is the like input? Where's the input? Okay. So if we go here and we go to edit, project setting, input, we open it, you can see like those axes, right? Okay, sorry. Yeah, so for example, there are horizontal, vertical. We are going to use horizontal and vertical. Okay, so if I type the key code called horizontal, it means like the key button will be left and right. If I get the key input the key like get the keyboard like a vertical, and the navigate the button will be down, up and down. Okay, so this is our input. So I go to input and get key down. It's like okay, if you press your key code R, then get component renderer. Okay, what's this mean? Get component renderer is here. Get component. Okay, mesh render is here. Get component. This is the component, right? Component of this project, of this cube. So this is get component render. This is a render. and render the material. Here, this is a material, right? The color of the material. Okay, so it's the color of the material. Color of the material. So that's why the code says that. So get component render dot material dot color equals color dot red. So which means if I press R, and the color will turn red. And okay, so if we kind of I copy and paste it, and then for example, if I get B, if I want to press V, and then the whole material color will turn blue. So you just type color.blue. It's like kind of like a default color. Okay, so I copy and paste and make it the third one. So if I press G, this will go and get the color out of this material and make it green. Yeah, so this is how this function work. Okay, let's see how this function work. Okay, R, B, G. Yeah, so, and then how this work, this is a horizontal key, which is left and right. This is the up and down key. Okay. Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, so let's make another line called float horizontal. So what does it mean? It means that horizontal basically is number and it's float. So horizontal will be some float, like the numbers. And the equals input get axis horizontal. It's like I want the position, the numbers from horizontal. Okay, then this is, oh, I want the number vertical, and please get axis from vertical. We just saw it, it's up and down. It's like an arrow down, arrow up. Okay, so vertical 3 movement means that, okay, so on the this one, we have 3 verticals, right? So it means X, Y, Z. Vertical 3, it means like a X, Y, Z parameters. If you want like a original space, you just 0, 0, 0. This is vector 3. Movement equals, for example, if I want to move to the new place, and that's the movement. It's not like the place that I'm in, but it's the movement that I'm going to be. Okay, so it's new vector 3, and we use horizontal, which is our horizontal number, the number that we get from our movement. So horizontal times speed times time delta time. It's like every frame. Yeah. So yeah, and then 0 because we freeze the y. So this is x, y, z. And vertical, which means that our vertical, which is up and down number, and then we times speed and times like a different time. Yeah, and then RB dot move position. This is the new like our new move position equals transform dot position plus movement. This is like a transport position. It's like a where we are at, where we wanna be, and it will be our current position, like a newest position. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Jump, right? We start moving. Yeah, so this is kind of like we create, it's like this is the current position, and we want to move this way, and at the end the position will be the previous one add the movement equals the final position. Okay, so let's go back to like a little fun thing, which is the collider thing. It's triggered. If you are triggered, it will become like a another kind of like a, if you trigger it, and you can use the script, and there are three component or three events you can create. For example, on trigger enter, on trigger stay, and on trigger exit. Yeah, so let's see the physics materials. Okay, so this one, how to create physics materials. Okay, so I create a ball, and let's see how I create. Maybe I create a ball too. Okay, I create physics material, and then my curl ball too. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Okay, let's make it 0.6. Maybe the bounce. The bounce, I wanna make it maximum. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's go here and attach this too. Here. Okay, so if I apply like a ball, you can like in some tutorials and books, you can turn it to like fire, ice, or something. So the collider is very interesting if you can apply some cool effect onto your collider. Okay, so material, I make a ball physics material. Okay, let's see. It will do like something like a ball. See, it bounce, right? It bounce. If I change the parameters, for example, like I change it, make it 1. Let's see. I think it will start bouncing. Let's see. Well, bounce, 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 bounce. Yeah, so it will act like a ball, right? So you can apply to a lot of little cool materials. Yeah, okay. You can change the speed here as well. Okay, so this is today's tutorial, and I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, let's make a connection. You can subscribe my YouTube channel, or like my Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and or email me, or like look up my website. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.